Greetings, grave robbers, and welcome back to Not the Television Graveyard. I am your TV necromancer, TV's Noah Houlihan, and we are still on hiatus. Now, let me tell you what this episode was supposed to be. Some of our fantastic grave robbers have been filling out the Stay Doomed Questionnaire. And that is a little questionnaire that I put at the bottom of the hiatus episodes asking for input on what the show should look like going forward. Now, what was supposed to happen is Laura and I were going to sit down and we were going to go through this and discuss things and changes we wanted to make. That being said, I got very ill for the last couple days, and Laura's been very busy. So when Laura was around and free to do this episode, I was unable to speak. So it's on me. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but Laura is not available. So you got just me. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on with the Stay Doomed questionnaire, how it's going to affect the show, how it's going to affect the Patreon, and what Season 6 of Stay Doomed will hold in the future. So let's take a look at what you fantastic folks told me, and we'll look at the beauty of data. So I asked, what type of Stay Doomed episodes do you enjoy the most? And I gave a bunch of different categories. Hour-long dramas, kid shows, wrestling, the Razzie episodes, TV specials. I even threw in some stuff that we really actually haven't done. We haven't done news. We haven't done prank shows. But I just wanted to have as many different options for you so you could tell me what you'd like to see Stay Doomed cover. 100% of the responses said that they enjoy pilots. And I'm glad to see that because I love a weird pilot that doesn't have any buzz around it, something that no one's really undusted or dug up before, and talking about it because it was somebody's baby. A bunch of people worked really hard hoping that this would be the next Friends or the next Survivor or the next Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it didn't work out, so let's tell that story. So I'm very happy to see that Pilots was the most popular, because there will be more pilots in the future. Just behind that were, and this really surprised me, Lost Media, which, Lost Media tends to be like a special episode, so yeah, of course. And TV specials. TV specials I always felt like were cheat episodes. But I really enjoyed when we did Specials Month, when we did Al Capone's Vault, when we did Eaten Alive. That one's super fun. When we did Jamie Kennedy's New Year's special. Really enjoyed those. They're a little weird. They're not meant to really continue, but the same thing with miniseries. Miniseries only run one season unless they're successful. Just talk to Fargo over on FXX. So I am definitely down to do more TV specials. So they will definitely be coming down the pike. And Lost Media, of course, we can only do that when it's found. So I can't really provide you with definite we'll be doing more Lost Media. But if the lost episode of Sesame Street with the Wicked Witch told us anything, you guys like Lost Media. So I will continue doing that. In third place, we had a tie between reality shows and sitcoms, which makes the most sense. And receiving no votes is sports, which is why we continue to not do sports. Talk shows, which we've never done a talk show. We've discussed doing the Chevy Chase show in some form, but not now. Well, I guess we did do Orson Welles, and so I guess we won't be doing anything like that anytime soon. No votes for award shows, which we've only done the one. We did the Video Game Awards. And prank shows, which we've never done, and it looks like we will never do. What type of Stay Doomed episodes do you not enjoy? Number one answer here is sports. We will never do sports. Message received. Behind that is talk show. So we won't do any more Orson Welles. And then behind that is news, which again, we've never done news, so we will continue not to. There's like a news pilot that it stars that like Canadian governor that did cocaine that I always like throw out as an idea to do. And we're not going to do it there. Things that receive no votes, which means nobody hates it when we do reality shows, game shows, which surprises me, because I always feel game shows are weaker episodes. Kid shows, sitcoms, cartoons, pilots, lost media. Web shows got 0, which is cool. And documentary, which I don't think I put documentary on. No, I did put documentary on. Documentary actually came in. Wait. I misread the results here. Documentary got some votes. Okay, all right, interesting. So maybe another Eaten Alive. Now there's been a big debate about Razzie Month. How should we handle Razzie Month? Because Razzie Month was a rough month last year because of Blonde. So I asked, do you want us to cover every film, no matter what, that gets nominated for Worst Picture? Do you want us to cover all the films, but in one episode? So instead of doing an episode on each, we just do one Razzie episode. Do you want us to cover only a few of the films on a case-by-case basis? Do you want us to cover only the film that wins Worst Picture? So again, only one Razzie episode. Or just not do Razzie Month at all? There were no votes for do not do Razzie Month, and there were no votes for only cover what wins. The easy majority was cover only a few films on a case-by-case basis. So basically what we've been doing. If there's any reason to not do a film, we just won't cover it. I'm really glad that the Grave Robbers agreed with that. It gives us control over the content that we put out. So that is what we will do moving forward. I asked what type of Plus 2 content do you consume other than Stay Doomed? Most popular answer, Plus 2 Wrestling. My alter ego, Scott Holiday, hosts Plus 2 Wrestling over on the Plus 2 Wrestling channel. And I'm really glad to see that. I do really enjoy doing it. It's so much work. And it's so exhausting trying to get those out weekly. As I sit here recording this, I have no idea what Friday's episode is going to be. So, and again, I'm sick. So we'll see. We'll see. There just might not be one. But we're going to do our best here. But thank you so much for doing that. Apparently no one checks out Plus 2 Comedy Gaming on Twitch. So, those streams are good. But it's very interesting because basically that means that we have 2 tiers of fans that all use the same Patreon. There's the gaming fans and there are the Stay Doomed fans. And they're on different tiers of Patreon, which will continue. We'll get into Patreon in a second because I asked what people want to see when joining a Patreon. And number one answer I got, this was a write-in. Like, I didn't give you options. People just wrote in. And the number one thing I'm seeing is Jackbox. So, yeah, Jackbox. Absolutely. A couple people bringing up bonus episodes. People wanting just us to cover the news, which is interesting. A couple mentions of more tuned out episodes, which is surprising because I'm going to be honest. We didn't really enjoy doing Tuned Out. We love this show. We love Stay Doomed because it feels like we're doing a thing. This feels more like a show. We're finding something. We're unearthing it. We're giving it life that it, would otherwise probably not have. Or, investigating an insane fan base like with Firefly and Clerks the Animated Series and such. And evaluating something that might not get its time in the sun and then putting it back 6 feet underground where it belongs. That feels like it's a very niche show, and if you want content like that, you kind of have to come to us. There are a few other podcasts that cover like the Sudden But Inevitable podcast did an episode-by-episode breakdown of Firefly, but there's not really a lot of pilots or a lot of podcasts that are doing what we are doing. I know there's one that's called, like, RI Pilots, I think it might be called, and they just read pilots, but nothing exactly like this. So it feels good to create something that's unique, and like we can kind of find its little slice of the internet that it like holds and deserves to be. When we were doing Tuned Out, it was the first time we felt like we were ever just making content instead of a show. I guess we live with us, so we don't find us so entertaining or interesting. But it's nice to know that you guys do. When it comes to bonus episodes, we'll get into that a little bit later, but definitely considering something along those lines still existing some way on the internet. Asked what the ideal price of a Patreon was, all over the board there. Everyone just feels differently about it. Asked what you'd like to see covered on Stay Doomed. Number one answer, easily, Cop Rock Redux, which, yeah, we'll get there. It's to be done. A lot of calls for game shows. Let's see. The Lone Gunman, which I forgot all about that existing. I'm not an X-File so I don't know a lot about that one. People wanting us to find more, like, annoying things that make us angry, of course. Someone asking for Lucha Underground, which is very interesting. And then bonus episodes. I was like, what do you want the bonus episodes to look like? Some people just chose random things you'd want us to cover, which is fine. Like the Richard Pryor show. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. A couple people asking us to revisit things, which I think is interesting. That people want us to just, like, go back to some of our past episodes and, like, really, like, see how, if our opinions has changed in any way. Very interesting. A lot of people asking for news, which you guys hate news, but just, like, what's going on currently. So, what are we currently watching? What do we feel about whatever's going on here? Things like that. A lot of people like the Rolling Stones list. Got a lot of good feedback about those episodes. Those are probably, out of all the Tune Out episodes, those are the episodes I enjoy most. We're reacting to the Rolling Stones list. I think I've mentioned this before, that there was a project I was working on shortly that didn't go anywhere, where I was going to do interviews with people who made top 10 lists and force them to defend what they said. Nobody wants to do that. It'd be fun to listen to, but nobody wants to be on that podcast because it's just me yelling at you. So that's what the questionnaire told us. I can say, I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that we used the hiatus to try to record a few things. With me getting sick and how busy Laura is, we didn't get nearly as much done as we wanted. But I believe there will be 2, maybe 3. Did we get that 3rd episode done? I don't know. Everything's a blur. I have a fever. There will be a few episodes that come out soon that will start with, like, support the writer's strike and support the actor's strike. Unless I go back and edit them out, which I might. It's being recorded before that stuff was out. So the first couple episodes we're sticking with things that we were allowed to cover during the strikes. And then we'll be back to doing our normal Stay Doomed thing very, very soon. I know we owe you guys The Quest, which we have to re-watch and re-record. We already recorded part 1, but it's been destroyed. Just something got corrupted, so that will never see the light of day. But that will come soon. As soon as we have, like, a chunk of time where we can actually sit down and watch something longer, The Quest is at the top of that list. As for the Patreon is going to go through a little bit of change. Mostly because I feel like the Patreon, it doesn't clearly display what it's good for, and there's been a few slips in delivery of things. So right now, the first stream, or the first Patreon setting is I'm just here for streams. That is going to change to the +2 comedy gaming tier. That's just going to be for the ones who enjoy my gaming stuff. They don't venture too much over into my other projects, so we have like kind of different tiers of fan that enjoy different things. So if you join that, it's just the dollar level, and you get to join me for an exclusive stream on Patreon once a week. It's more laid back. They have more say on what I'm playing. I will just play basically whatever they say. We'll do whatever you want. And since it is more laid back, there's less going on. It's more chatty. It's more... I'm less focused on, getting to the next level or any of those things. I'm more focused on talking to people. So that will continue to be there. Next is currently the +2 comedy modifier level. That will be changing to the Gravedigger section. This is going to be for the Stay Doomed fans. So basically, it's going to stay pretty much exactly the same as it is right now. It lets you join our Discord, so if you want to just chat with us, and we talk about like food, and we send pictures, and we get sad about things that get canceled. That's what we do. You can vote on Stay Doomed episodes and also all the +2 comedy gaming stuff. You're invited to the streams, of course, and you can vote on the gaming polls. But we try to do polls on upcoming episodes of Stay Doomed, so you can vote on those. There's a monthly bonus show that we're supposed to do called the Crowdfund Crypt. What we're going to do instead is once a month there will be a bonus piece of content. I don't want to put it into a box and say what it's going to be. Sometimes it'll be a live stream where we play Jackbox. Sometimes it'll just be me talking about something. Sometimes Laura will be here and we'll do like a tuned out or something, a tier list or something like that. But there will be bonus content. So once a month, a piece of bonus content. Another big thing that everyone was asking about is they wanted to see us do comedy more. Because Laura and I tour doing comedy. I'm going to start putting comedy up in the Gravedigger level. Next is a joke level called the +2 comedy modifier, where you basically get everything from the +2 comedy modifier level. It just cost $2. I thought it was funny at the time. We actually do have members in there, which is very nice that people are just willing to support like that. That is going to change into a +2 overall section. So basically, it will be for patrons that enjoy all of the +2 comedy stuff, not just Stay Doomed and not just gaming. So that will be for +2 wrestling. It will also be for a brand new channel that will come out next year. I've been quietly behind the scenes working on a video essay channel. So it'll get you access to the essays that are going to come out a week early, as well as information on what's coming up, voting in polls on upcoming +2 wrestling videos and +2 comedy essays that are going to come out. All that stuff. So it's basically for everybody, for everything that I and Laura do. So I just wanted to make that more appealing. I thought it was a funny joke at the time, but like, I feel bad that there are... I thought no one was going to be a member of that, but people are, and I was like, I feel like I should do more. And I need Scott Holiday to start plugging the Patreon. So that's going to be at the $7 level. And then the $20 level will be more of a producer role now. That one also might go up in price based on some logistics that we haven't figured out yet. But that will allow you to suggest topics for the essays, suggest topics for +2 wrestling, suggest shows that we're going to cover. And that will end up in polls that then everyone will vote on. So it's a bit of a bigger thing. It also we want to do something that we're still working on. Again, I'm so sorry I got sick. Where it'll allow like more one-on-one communication about things that are going on. So we're working on those things. So expect a change in the Patreon either, I was going to say in December, but like it's already so late in November. So we'll say in the new year. It will also have access if you go to the $7 a month. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around. Updates on how essays are doing, because essays are going to come out sporadically, the +2 comedy essays. So they are not going to be, they're going to be done when they're done, because they're going to be higher production. So updates on that will be available through that part of the Patreon. Stop beeping your horn outside. I'm recording a podcast with a stuffy nose. Finally, I wanted to say something about early access, because I want to give you guys everything a little bit early. I looked into this, and I'd love to be able to say you'll get it X earlier. So I'm not going to do that because I can't keep that promise all the time. So I'm going to instead say, if you're part of the Patreon, you'll get access to everything we're doing when it's done. So you might get a video a few days early. You might get a video hours early. You might get it moments early. You might get it a week early. You don't know. But coming in January, everything's going to go to Patreon first. So if you're a fan of the gaming stuff, I'll put the gaming videos up right now, because the gaming videos at least get done quickly, and they can go up a few days early. With Stay Doomed, that's usually done either at the 11th hour or way early. So when it's done, it'll go up. So it is the new when it's done policy on our Patreon. So I know this sounded like rambly. It's because it was. I'm going to try to drink some orange juice and get better. We return with Stay Doomed next week with You're in the Picture. We made our way up to the Paley Center, and we watched You're in the Picture, a game show that lasted 2 episodes. The first episode was a normal game show, and the second episode was an apology for the first episode, starring Jackie Gleason. It is a pleasure. We recorded it before the strike was over, so we'll probably end up talking about the strike a little bit. Sorry. But it's a game show, so we figured we could get around everything. Thank you so much for joining me for this talk about the future of Stay Doomed, which hopefully will stay bright and stay in your hearts forever and ever. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sick. I'm going to go lay down. Until next time, stay doomed.